Hello and welcome everyone. This is the 8th lecture of Ancient Indian History. In this lecture we will discuss the topic of early Vedic period. Early Vedic period का टाइम स्पेन है 1500 BC से लेके 1000 BC तक का। एंड इस पीरियड की जितनी भी जानकारी है जैसे कि अबाउट इट्स इकोनॉमी, सोसाइटी, पॉलिटी, रिलीजियस लाइफ ऑफ पीपल, ये सारी जानकारी हमें मिलती है ऋग्वेद से, जो कि इसी टाइम पीरियड के दौरान कंपोज किया गया था। ओके, सो अर्ली वैदिक पीरियड इज ऑल्सो नोन एज ऋग्वेदिक पीरियड, राइट? So in today's lecture, we will discuss about original home of Aryans, geographical area of early Vedic period, then we'll discuss about some tribal conflicts, and thereafter we will discuss about economy, polity, society and the religious life of the people of that time. इसके अलावा जो वैदिक लिटरेचर है जिसमें आते हैं 4 वेदास, ब्राह्मणास, आरण्यकास एंड उपनिषद्स, that all I have already discussed in the previous lecture, which you can watch later, right? So without any further delay, let us start today's lecture. Okay, so starting with the original home of Aryans. First of all, who were Aryans? See, Aryans were considered as a linguistic group of people who spoke Indo-European language, from which later emerged Sanskrit, Latin, Greek and other languages. तो देखो, जो ये इंडो यूरोपियन ग्रुप ऑफ लैंग्वेजेस है जैसे संस्कृत, लैटिन, ग्रीक, इनमें कुछ सिमिलैरिटीज देखने को मिलती है. Some words have same sound and meaning. So due to these, scholars held that Aryans or Indo-European speakers must have a common homeland from where they migrated to different parts of Europe and Asia, right? तो जो ये लैंग्वेजेस में सिमिलैरिटीज देखने को मिलती हैं उनसे ये माना गया कि इंडो यूरोपियन स्पीकर्स का कोई कॉमन होमलैंड होता होगा जहां से वो माइग्रेट करते हैं टू डिफरेंट पार्ट्स ऑफ यूरोप एंड एशिया, राइट? सो आर्यंस वर कंसिडर्ड एज अ लिंग्विस्टिक ग्रुप और अ स्पीच ग्रुप. नाउ ओरिजिनल होम ऑफ आर्यंस इज अ डिबेटेबल क्वेश्चन. डिफरेंट स्कॉलर्स ने डिफरेंट पॉइंट ऑफ व्यूज दिए हैं. दे हैव आइडेंटिफाइड डिफरेंट रीजन्स, फॉर एग्जांपल आर्कटिक रीजन, जर्मनी, सेंट्रल एशिया, सदर्न रशिया, एंड अकॉर्डिंग टू सम स्कॉलर्स आर्यंस वर द ओरिजिनल inhabitants of India, right? So original home of Aryans is a debatable question, but as of now the most accepted theory is that Aryans have migrated from Central Asia, right? So Aryans Central Asia से migrate करते हैं into Indian subcontinent in several waves during 2000 BC to 1500 BC. तो देखो, जो Aryans थे they were nomadic people or pastoralists who migrate from one place to another in search of good pastures. तो Aryans Central Asia से migrate करके जाते हैं to Europe, टर्की, ईरान, इंडिया, राइट? और ये माइग्रेशन चलती है इन सेवरल वेव्स और इन सेवरल स्टेजेस ओवर हंड्रेड्स ऑफ इयर्स, राइट? नाउ देयर आर सर्टेन एविडेंसेस व्हिच शोज दैट टर्की, ईरान से होते हुए आर्यंस की एक ब्रांच इंडिया आई होगी. सो दीज एविडेंसेस आर, नंबर 1, ऋग्वेदा हैज मेनी थिंग्स इन कॉमन विद ज़ैंदवस्ता. ज़ैंदवस्ता इज द ओल्डेस्ट इरानियन टेक्स्ट. इट यूजेस सेम नेम्स फॉर सेवरल गोड्स एंड इवन फॉर सोशल क्लासेस. तो ज़ैंदवस्ता में सेम नेम्स यूज्ड है फॉर वैदिक गोड्स एंड इवन फॉर सोशल क्लासेस. Similarly, Kassite inscription and Mitanni inscriptions of Iraq, Hittite inscription and Boghazai inscription of Turkey mentions the similar names of Vedic gods. For example, Boghazai inscription में mention है about god Indra, Agni, Varuna, Natstya, right? So similar names mentioned है Vedic gods के इन inscriptions में. So these evidences shows that Turkey and Iran से एक ब्रांच आर्यंस की इंडिया आई, राइट? ठीक है, तो देखो, जितने भी रिसोर्सेज हम एग्जाम्स के लिए पढ़ते हैं उन सभी में ये इन्फॉर्मेशन अभी गिवन है. बट दीज डेज मैनी रिसर्चर्स, मैनी हिस्टोरियंस और स्कॉलर्स आर ऑफ द व्यू दैट आर्यंस वर द ओरिजिनल इनहेबिटेंट्स ऑफ इंडिया. दे आर गिविंग न्यू एविडेंसेस अबाउट इट. सो जो भी न्यू रिसर्च या एविडेंसेस मिलते हैं आप उसे भी ध्यान में रखिए. बट एज ऑफ नाउ दिस इज ऑल अबाउट द आर्यन माइग्रेशन थ्योरी एंड ओरिजिनल होम ऑफ आर्यंस, right? So next we'll discuss about the geographical area. So geographical area of early Vedic period was the northwestern region of the Indian subcontinent. And ऋग्वेद में जो भी कुछ places के names given है, for example सप्त सिंधव, हीमवंत, मुंजावंत, और जो rivers के बारे में बताया गया है, इन सबसे हमें आइडिया लगता है about the geographical area of the early Vedic period, right? So Aryans first settled in India in the Sapt Sindhu region. Sapt Sindhu region means land of 7 rivers. These 7 rivers are Indus and its 5 tributaries that are Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Beas, Satluj and the Saraswati river. So these are the 7 rivers of Sapt Sindhu region, right? Thereafter Himalayas were referred as Himvant, Hindu Kush was referred as Munjavant, right? And now we'll discuss about the rivers mentioned in Rigveda, the Rigvedic names of rivers and their modern names. So Indus river was referred as Sindhu, Jhelum was referred as Vitasta, Chenab was referred as Askini, Ravi was referred as Parushini, Beas was referred as Vipasa, Satluj was referred as Satudri. Thereafter Saraswati was referred as Nadi Tarna, Gomal was referred as Gomati, Kurram was referred as Krumu, Swad was referred as Swastu, Kabul was referred as Kubha, Ghaggad was referred as Drishadwati एंड गंडक वॉज रेफर्ड एज सदानीरा, राइट। तो जितनी भी इंफॉर्मेशन ऋग्वेद में गिवन है उन सबसे हमें आइडिया लगता है, उन सबसे हमें जानकारी मिलती है अबाउट द ज्योग्राफिकल एरिया ऑफ अर्ली वैदिक पीरियड, राइट। नाउ वी विल डिस्कस अबाउट ट्राइबल कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स. So as we have already discussed, Aryans came into India in several ways. And the Aryans that came around 1500 BC, they came into conflict with indigenous inhabitants called Dasas and Dasyus. Dasas were the branch of early Aryans, whereas Dasyus were the original inhabitants, right? Now there was a army chief called Trasa Dasyu. He was lenient toward Dasas, but he was strongly hostile toward Dasyus. For Dasyus, there was a mention of term called Dasyu Hatya in Rig Veda. Dasyu Hatya means slaughter of Dasyus, and this term is repeatedly mentioned in Rig Veda, right? So Aryans came into conflict with Dasas and Dasyus. Thereafter, there was many intra-tribal conflicts. So there was Panch Jana. Jana means tribe and Panch means 5. So it means 5 Aryan tribes. So these 5 Aryan tribes fought amongst themselves to establish their supremacy. And these 5 Aryan tribes were Puru, Druhu, Anu, Turvasa and Yadu, right? So there were intra-tribal conflicts among these 5 Aryan tribes. And one such conflict is Dasarajan War, Battle of 10 Kings. And this war is mentioned in the 7th mandala of Rig Veda. This we have also discussed in the previous lecture, right? So this war was fought on the bank of Parushni River. Parushni River is now called Ravi River. And this battle was fought between Bharta tribe on one hand and alliance of 10 tribes on other hand. So this alliance of 10 tribes include 5 Aryan tribes and 5 non-Aryan tribes. These were the 5 Aryan tribes, right? And in this battle, Bharta chief or Bharta king Sudas emerged victorious, right? Thereafter, subsequently, Bharta tribe joined hands with Puru tribe and formed Kuru tribe, right? So after victory, Bharta tribe along with Puru tribe formed Kuru tribe. And thereafter, Puru tribe combined with Panchala tribe played important role in the later Vedic period. And they ruled over the upper Gangetic basin, okay? So this was all about the tribal conflicts during early Vedic period. Next, we will discuss about the economy of early Vedic period, okay? Okay, so अब देखते हैं early Vedic period की economy कैसी थी. So early Vedic people were pastoralists. Early Vedic people pastoralists थे, मतलब चरवाहे थे या पशुपालक थे, और पशुओं का पालन करके वो अपनी जरूरतें पूरी करते थे, क्योंकि पशुओं से उन्हें मिल जाता था मांस, दूध, और इन्हीं से वो अपना जीवन यापन करते थे, ठीक है. सो अर्ली वैदिक पीपल वर पेस्टोरलिस्ट. कैटल rearing was their primary occupation, and along with cattle they also domesticated horses, because horses helps in swift migration or travel over long distances, right? So cattle rearing and domestication of animals was the primary occupation of early Vedic people. नेक्स्ट एग्रीकल्चर वॉज देयर सेकेंडरी ऑक्यूपेशन. तो एग्रीकल्चर की उन्हें नॉलेज तो थी, बट इट वॉज नॉट प्रैक्टिस्ड ऑन लार्ज स्केल. एग्रीकल्चर वॉज प्रैक्टिस्ड जस्ट टू सप्लीमेंट द फूड रिक्वायरमेंट्स, राइट? सो एग्रीकल्चर वॉज देयर सेकेंडरी ऑक्यूपेशन, वेयरएज कैटल रियरिंग वॉज देयर प्राइमरी ऑक्यूपेशन. एग्रीकल्चर की इंपॉर्टेंस इंक्रीज होती है लेटर वैदिक पीरियड से, जहां एग्रीकल्चर बन जाता है प्राइमरी ऑक्यूपेशन, राइट? Next point is that cow was the most important form of wealth. So during early Vedic period, cow was considered as the most important form of wealth. और cow की क्या इंपॉर्टेंस है ये हमें पता लगता है ऋग्वेद से, जो ये सारे शब्द मिलते हैं इनसे. ये सारे शब्द बनते हैं गो या गौ से, which means cow, right? So the first term is गोमत. गोमत was the wealthy person, that is one who owned cattle. तो जिसके पास जितनी ज्यादा गाय होती थी उसे उतना ही वेल्दी माना जाता था. So गोमत was the wealthy person. नेक्स्ट इज गोपति. गोपति वॉज द ट्राइबल चीफ. तो जो ट्राइब का हेड था या ट्राइब का चीफ था, वो अपनी ट्राइब की कैटल को प्रोटेक्ट करने का काम करता था. दैट इज वाई ट्राइबल चीफ इज कॉल्ड गोपति, विच मीन्स प्रोटेक्टर ऑफ कैटल. नेक्स्ट दुहित्री. दुहित्री मीन्स डॉटर, दैट इज वन हु मिल्क्स द काउ. नेक्स्ट गवीस्ती और गवेशना, विच मीन्स सर्च फॉर काउस, एंड दीज टर्म्स वर यूज्ड मेनली फॉर द वॉर्स विच वर फोर्ट फॉर काउस. तो जैसा कि हमने देखा, काउ वॉज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर्म ऑफ वेल्थ. सो ऋग्वेदिक पीरियड में ज्यादातर वॉर्स लड़ी जाती थी काउस के लिए, बिकॉज जिसके पास जितनी ज्यादा गाय होंगी उतना वो वेल्दी होगा, उतनी उसकी सुप्रीमेसी होगी, राइट? सो मोस्ट ऑफ द वॉर्स वर फोर्ट फॉर काउस. नेक्स्ट इज गोधुली. गोधुली वॉज द टर्म यूज फॉर मेजर ऑफ टाइम. तो गोधुली कहते थे शाम के समय को, जब चरवाहे अपनी गायों को चरवाकर घर वापस लाते थे शाम के समय, तो उस समय को कहते थे गोधुली. नेक्स्ट गव्युति. गव्युति वॉज द टर्म यूज्ड फॉर मेजर ऑफ डिस्टेंस. एंड देयर आफ्टर गोत्रा. गोत्रा मीन्स लीनियज और किनशिप यूनिट्स, राइट? सो इन सभी टर्म से पता लगता है कि काउ कितनी इंपॉर्टेंट थी. वेरियस एस्पेक्ट्स ऑफ लाइफ ड्यूरिंग ऋग्वेदिक पीरियड रिवॉल्व अराउंड कैटल रियरिंग, राइट? सो काउ वॉज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर्म ऑफ वेल्थ. Now the next point is about agriculture. So agriculture was the secondary occupation of early Vedic period. So they produced yava. Yava means jow or barley. Then there is a mention of wooden plowshare in Rig Veda, which means plowing was also known. And the people was also acquainted with sowing, harvesting, threshing and different seasons. So all these points indicate that they had knowledge of agriculture, but it was not practiced on large scale. Rather, it was practiced just to supplement their food requirements. Okay. Now, other than cattle rearing and agriculture, there were other economic activities as well during the early Vedic period. So there was mention of different artisans in the Rig Veda. For example, carpenters, potters, chariot makers, weavers, leather workers, etc. Right? And there is also mention of term ayas. Ayas means copper or bronze. So it means metal working was also known. Right? इसके अलावा ट्रेड के कुछ ज्यादा एविडेंसेस नहीं मिलते. जो भी कोई ट्रेड होता होगा दैट वाज ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ बार्टर सिस्टम, जहां सामान के बदले सामान दिया जाता है. गुड्स वर एक्सचेंज फॉर गुड्स. And the cows were the most favored medium of exchange, right? Because as we already seen, cows were the form of wealth. So cows were the most favored medium of exchange, right? So this was all about the economy of early Vedic period. Next, we will discuss about the polity of this period. So the polity of early Vedic period was tribal polity, with tribal chief called Rajan at the center. This Rajan was elected by the tribal assembly. So the Rajan was an elected authority during early Vedic period, right? Now we will discuss about the political structure. So the basic unit of polity was Kula or Griha. Kula or Griha means family. So there was joint family system during the early Vedic period, and the head of this family was Kulapati or Grihapati. And the group of such families formed Grama. Grama, that is village, and the head of Grama was Gramini. And the group of villages formed Vish. Head of Vish was Vishapati, and a group of Vish formed Jana, that is tribe, and the head of tribe or Jana was Rajan. And this Rajan was also called Gopa or Gopati, which means protector of cows, right? So the main responsibility of Rajan was the protection of his tribe and its cattle. And for this, Rajan used to fought wars with other tribes. And also he used to organize yajnas or sacrifices for the welfare of the people, right? So this was the political structure of early Vedic period. Basic structure was कुला और family. बहुत सी families मिलके बनाती हैं ग्राम, बहुत से ग्राम मिलके बनाते हैं विश, और बहुत से विश मिलके बनाते हैं जना और tribe, right? So this was the political structure. Next point is that several tribal assemblies are mentioned in Rig Veda, and these tribal assemblies used to exercise deliberative, military and religious functions, right? So various aspects of society and polity were discussed in these tribal assemblies. These tribal assemblies are Vidhata, Sabha, Samiti and Gana. Vidhata was the earliest tribal assembly. Sabha was the assembly of select few. So this was the council of elders. तो जो भी village elders थे उनकी assembly थी सभा. Thereafter Samiti. Samiti was the assembly of entire people of village. तो गांव के सभी लोगों की assembly थी Samiti. Thereafter Gana. Gana was the assembly of soldiers, right? So these were the tribal assemblies during early Vedic period. Okay. Thereafter, in day-to-day administration, the Rajan was assisted by few functionaries. These were Purohit, Senani, Vrajapati. Purohit was the priest who used to advise Rajan on various matters. Also, he used to perform yajnas or sacrifices, right? Thereafter, Senani was the army chief. However, during early Vedic period, there was no regular or standing army. In the times of war, able-bodied tribesmen were mobilized to fight, right? Thereafter, Vrajapati. Vrajapati was the officer with authority over pasture land. Okay. So these were the functionaries or officers who assisted Rajan in day-to-day administration. Okay. Thereafter, during early Vedic period, there was no system of regular taxation. Okay. People gave voluntary offerings called Bali to the Rajan. Thereafter, another source of revenue was war booty. Okay. So there was no regular system of taxation. The source of revenue was Bali and war booty. Okay. So this was all about the polity of early Vedic period. Next, we will discuss about the society of this period. Coming to the society of early Vedic period, so the basic unit of society was family, that is Kula or Griha, and the family was patriarchal in nature. That is, the head of the family was father, and the birth of son was desired in the family. Thereafter, marriage was monogamous and indissoluble. However, there were certain instances of polygamy as well. Next point is about position of women. So the position of women during early Vedic period was that of equality. So women could attend tribal assemblies. Then there were certain women who composed hymns of Rigveda. These Brahmavadinis were Lopamudra, Vishwakara, Sikta, Ghosha, Maitriya, right? Then there was practice of levirate or niyog and widow remarriage. In Levirate, a widow is married to the brother of her deceased husband, right? So there was practice of widow remarriage in early Vedic period. And then there were no instances of child marriage in sati, right? All these evidences suggest that position of women were good during the early Vedic period, right? Next point is about Varna. Varna was the term used for color, Aryas being fair and indigenous inhabitants being dark, right? So Rig Ved mentions Arya Varna and Das Varna, okay? Next, division based on birth had started. However, this division was not rigid. It was not on the basis of birth. Members of a family could adopt different occupations. और जो वर्ण सिस्टम है, this is mentioned in the Purush Sukta hymn of 10th mandal of Rigved, and 10th mandal was the later addition. So Varna system started towards the end of the early Vedic period, right? So 4 Varnas are Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Shudras. Brahmins were the priests and teachers. Kshatriyas were the rulers and warriors, Vaishyas were the merchants, bankers and peasants, and Shudras were the artisans and laborers, right? So this was the Varna system. This system was not rigid, it was flexible during the early Vedic period, right? Then next point is about amusement. So there was music, and in Rig Veda there is mention of Veena and Dundubi. Dundubi means drum. Then there was chariot racing, horse racing and gambling, okay? So this was all about the society of early Vedic period. And from all the discussion, we can say that society of early Vedic period was largely egalitarian in nature, right? So coming to the last topic, that is religious life of people of early Vedic period, right? So people of early Vedic period used to worship natural forces like rain, thunder, storm, fire, sun, etc. in the form of personified deities. तो अर्ली वैदिक पीरियड में लोग नेचुरल फोर्सेस की, नेचुरल एलिमेंट्स की वर्शिप करते थे इन द फॉर्म ऑफ पर्सोनिफाइड डेटीज, राइट? तो अब एक एक करके ऋग्वेदिक पीरियड के सभी डेटीज के बारे में पढ़ लेते हैं. फर्स्ट देयर वाज इंद्र. इंद्र वाज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट डेटी. टू हिम 250 हिम्स वर डिवोटेड इन ऋग्वेद. इंद्र वाज आल्सो कॉल्ड पुरंद्र, व्हिच मींस ब्रेकर ऑफ फोर्ट्स, एंड इंद्र वाज द गॉड ऑफ थंडर एंड रेन. सो इंद्र वाज द डेटी हु वाज रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर कॉजिंग रेन, राइट? Next, Agni. Agni was the fire god and he was considered as an intermediary between gods and people. Because Agni को जो offerings दी जाती थी, that were supposed to be carried in the form of smoke to the sky and thus transmitted to gods, right? Next, Varuna. Varuna was the god of water and he was also the upholder of natural order. Thereafter, Soma. Soma was the god of plants and from Soma plant an intoxicating drink was extracted, right? Next, Marut. Marut was the god of storm. Thereafter, sun was worshipped in several forms. For example, Surya, Savitri, Mitra, right? So, Surya was the god with 7 horse-driven chariot. Savitri was the god of light, to whom Gayatri mantra is devoted. Thereafter, Mitra was also the solar god. Okay. Thereafter, Pushan was the god of marriage, and he also guarded roads and cattle. Next, Rudra. Rudra was the god of animals. And Dayus was the oldest god and the father of the world, right? Next, Yama. Yama was the god of death. Thereafter, Ashwin and Nasya was the god of health, youth and immortality. Okay. Now, certain female goddesses were also mentioned. These were Aditi and Usha. Aditi was the mother goddess and Usha was the goddess of dawn. Okay. So, these all were the Rigvedic deities, right? Next point is about dominant mode of worshipping. So the dominant mode of worship during Rigvedic period was recitation of prayers and offering of yajnas or sacrifices, right? And this worship was not done for spiritual upliftment but for material gains. Mainly the people asked for praja, that is children, pashu, that is cattle, food, health, wealth, etc. right? So worship was not for spiritual upliftment but for material gains, okay? Next point is that there were no temples and no idol worship during the early Vedic period. Recitation of prayers and yajnas was the dominant mode of worshipping. Okay, so this was all about the religious life of people during early Vedic period, right? And here we come to the end of today's lecture. I hope आपको ये lecture useful लगा होगा. If you find it helpful, then do subscribe and share. Next lecture will be on later Vedic period. So till then, keep watching and keep learning. Thank you so much.